I just saw The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, director of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World fame and Baby Driver fame, not my favorite director. Anyway, starring Glen Powell, co-starring William H. Macy, Josh Brolin, Michael Cera, Coleman Domingo, and Amelia Jones, I guess we'll throw in to get some skirts in there. Based on a Stephen King novel, not a book, because I'm a smart guy, a novel. And also was made into a movie in like 1987, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, the book is about a dystopian world, or dystopian America, whatever, where there's a game show where three contestants enter, and they go on the run, and 5 bounty hunters, as well as America, try to hunt them down and kill them. And the longer our competitors survive, the more money they get. If they survive a full 30 days, they win $1 billion. And the whole dystopian factor comes in, where the competition is like fixed, like the network rigs it. They use all their tricks and games or whatever. Yeah, anyway, I liked the movie. It was a cool premise, right? It sounds interesting enough. It's pretty simple. Just the guy's got to go on the run. They set it up pretty well. It's like they do a good job where it's like, oh, we're playing the game show, so let's explain the rules of the game show, even though everybody watching the game show knows it. But I mean, it's a movie, obviously, so they have to explain it. That's something I always find funny. Like when the host introduces himself, he's like, "You know me, I'm Bobby T." That's not a racist impression. It's a decent Coleman Domingo impression. It's like, all right, if we know you, you don't have to say I'm Bobby T. It's like an Independence Day 2. They say, as you know, it's been however many years since the attacks. Nobody would ever say that. Like, as you all know, it's been 24 years since 9/11. Like, that's how a movie would start if 9/11 was in a movie. Anyway, The Running Man. Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. All that just to say The Running Man was all right. I had a good time with it. I love Glen Powell. I think he's like, I mean, Chalamet is obviously the one as far as like the movie star, but like Glen Powell, as far as like the guys that we want in movies in Hollywood, he's like exactly what you want. I'm not trying to sound like but like he's funny. He's a believable action hero. Yeah, no, I'm just gushing over Glen Powell. And yeah, that's honestly true. I gush over Glen Powell when I'm watching him in these movies. Top Gun, Anyone But You, even Devotion was like decent. Everybody Wants Him, Hitman, this movie, he's just charming as all hell. And he's the man. And that's what this movie really needs. Because like I said, Edgar Wright, not my favorite director, and definitely a poor showing from him. We'll get more into that later. We'll call it a tease. But yeah, Glen Powell is seriously, it's not a backpack performance, because as I said earlier, the cast is pretty great. You got a lot of people he's not really alone at all. We're with him the whole movie, but obviously he's not in an empty room running around the whole time. And he's getting help the whole time. So the whole supporting cast is great, but everybody's great with Powell. As for the rest of the supporting cast, I mean, obviously, listen to the names I listed. Coleman Domingo, Michael Cera, Josh Brolin, William H. Macy. All those guys in like a 5 to 10 minute interval. I mean, that's dynamite. William H. Macy, he really only had like one scene. It was his intro. He was like, "Oh, hey, I'm William H. Macy in this movie. That's my character." And then at the end of it, it's like, all right, you're not going to see me for the rest of the movie, is basically what he could have said, and might as well as what he did say. You get like one tiny little scene, but you don't even, I mean, it's not even a spoiler. You see him once. He never comes back into play again, which I think is completely stupid. Well, I mean, it is based on a book, and I guess you got to take creative liberty if you have a guy like William H. Macy. You can't have him in one scene and then have him be second billed. He is not a bigger star than Josh Brolin. If you're power ranking the stars, okay, Josh Brolin and Domingo got the with Coleman Domingo and Josh Brolin, so I can see that. But Michael Cera is a bigger star than William H. Macy. And he was not, like I said, he was probably like the 6th. My hand's really close to the camera. That looks weird, that game. He's probably like the 6th main character. No, that's a huge leap. Probably like the 10th main character. I would like to see the screen time report. I don't know if you can even get that from Running Man, because I'm the only person in the world that wants that. But he's probably... Oh yeah, he's probably like 12th in total screen time. And dialogue, he might be even less. I don't know if that would add up. And then you had Brolin. Brolin was great. If you saw the trailers at all, I feel like they were kind of everywhere. He had a great look. He had the super clean shave and the big hair and the big smile, and he was wearing suits, and he had a nice tan going, and he's playing the businessman, and he's doing the Brolin. It was nice. It was a good Brolin. Josh Brolin's awesome. I feel like, I mean, I'm kind of just I guess I'm talking out of my ass at that point. I was going to say, I feel like we lost him for a little bit when he was playing Thanos, but how much time did that really take him? I don't know. I'm not that well. I don't know Josh Brolin's filmography that well enough to at least talk like that. But it's great to have Josh Brolin just like acting. I feel like I saw him. Weapons, he was great in. And then I feel like I've seen him in a lot of stuff lately since Marvel, so I feel like I can't say that. Anyway, and then Coleman Domingo was good. He was really good. Coleman Domingo, you're getting Coleman Domingo. I said that about Josh. I think I said that about William H. Macy. No, I might have said that about Glen Powell. But I mean, as what that means is you're getting the high energy, the flamboyant personality. He's dancing around, he's shuffling around, he's yelling while he talks. Like I said, that's a good impression. Even though, never mind. One thing I would have liked more, and I'll say this about like pretty much every character in the movie after I thought about it, I would have liked, especially Coleman Domingo, but like I said, everyone, to ham it up some more. Like I would have liked for Coleman Domingo, he played the game show host, the host of The Running Man, and I would have liked for him to be like moonwalking around the stage, dancing around. He's got one scene where he dials it up, but I would have liked to see him, he's kind of on like a 6 the whole movie. I would have liked to see him on a 9, even a 10. I would like to see him on a 9 the whole movie. And Josh Brolin is good. I feel like his performance was, if he really hammed it up, it would have been too much. He's pretty good. He gives just enough, actually. And then Macy, like I said, he has one scene. I already did him, and then I already did William H. Macy. And then Michael Cera is actually really good. Right before something happens to Michael Cera's character, I was actually thinking, like, this is a really good Cera performance. Like, it's, the Phoenician Scheme was earlier this year, and people were like, oh my god, a match made in heaven, him in a Wes Anderson movie. But I was like, I really feel like we've seen everything we're going to get from him in a Wes Anderson movie already. And we've obviously seen what we're going to get from him in an Edgar Wright movie, you can imagine. But he was almost hamming it up. He was running around. It was a cool character for him. I liked Michael Cera's character a lot. I liked his performance a lot. When he's not... No, I didn't say this about him. It's a weird point there with my hand so close again. I didn't say this about Michael Cera, but you didn't get the Michael Cera. Like, you didn't get the, I'm Michael Cera, and I'm looking down at my hands in my pocket. Like, he's been playing the character from Superbad basically his whole life. Almost. Because that's probably kind of similar to who he is. And this wasn't that. This was definitely not that. He's kind of like he's not an action hero. But he's got more life to him than that. What else? Well, that's kind of it for the supporting cast. The characters in Boston were great. He gets help from a kid in Boston, and then that kid's brother. And then even the mom, I guess, there. Yeah, like that whole apartment. That little chunk of the story I liked a lot. I don't remember the character's name. I don't remember anyone's actual name except for his name was Ben Richards, which I think is the guy's name from Fantastic Four, is why I remember that. But yeah, I loved that little kid and his brother. The little kid was very funny, especially. Little kids I feel like little kid actors might even be getting funnier. Maybe the material's just getting better, but yeah, like in Is This Thing On was another one where the kids were very funny, and this kid was very funny. As for Edgar Wright, like I said, I just did not enjoy this before. This was not good Edgar Wright. I know what good Edgar Wright looks like. The thing about me is that, like, oh yeah, I've seen all sorts of movies, but like I see movies like Keeper, like I see all the terrible new movies. I see all sorts of garbage new stuff. I don't, like, a lot of old stuff I've seen, but like I think he did Dawn of the Dead. All that to say, I think he did Dawn of the Dead or Shaun of the Dead. I know him and Simon Pegg did all of them. I cannot. It's almost disrespectful if they did Dawn of the Dead, and then if they did Shaun of the Dead, it's a compliment to say I get them confused. Like, I don't know which one they did, but I know they've done stuff before that people like. I know Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is good Edgar Wright, and like it's just like not for me. Like, it's Funko Poppy to me. That movie. It's Stranger Things t-shirty. It's the whole. I know they break the fourth wall, but the whole movie feels like it's winking and not even winking at the camera, like nudging the camera, like like it's like that movie is like all those characters are like the annoying kids in high school that were like all in on those same annoying little jokes, and you were just like, all right, leave me alone, just like don't enough. I hope they don't think they get on a roll during this class. What am I saying? Yeah, Edgar Wright, but okay, good Edgar Wright. It's high energy. Like I said, it's annoying. It's loving. It's like haha. It's not. I'm not really describing it well at all. It's annoyingly like winky at the camera. It's nudgy. I just described it. This wasn't that. This felt flat and dull and lifeless. Not entirely, because the movie, the premise, and the cast is like so cool. I think all that adds up to like a really cool movie, which is why I was excited for it, except for the fact it was Edgar Wright I was willing to get over. But yeah, it was just, there was no moments where it was like the camera feels alive. There was no point where I thought, like, where I was annoyed. I would have liked to be annoyed by the whole Edgar Wright of it all at one point, and that never happens even once. There's not one point where the camera feels alive that I can think of. Legitimately. There's a couple scenes where, like, good action sequences, but the camera never feels alive. I feel like I haven't seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in like 5 years, and I'm literally only using that movie as a reference right here. Because, I feel like it might be the only one I've seen, actually, now that I think about it. And I saw whichever one he did with Simon. I think I saw one of the Ons of the Dead when I was like 8 years old. But anyway, there was no points like that. I would have hated some fourth wall breaking. Yeah, fourth wall breaking, I think I would have been annoyed by it. I would have liked the stakes to remain where they were. And the stakes felt high. Like I said, I still liked the movie. The direction being, I won't say poor, just lifeless and dull felt like the best way to put it. The direction being the way that it was does not kill the movie. The movie was still good. Like, I'll recommend The Running Man, and if people ask, how is The Running Man? There's a difference between pretty cool and pretty good. I don't know which this one falls on. Which incredibly highbrow form of film criticism will I describe this to? My brother asked how it was tomorrow. Well, I say, yeah, it was pretty good. Or, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty good, I'll say. Yeah, it was fun. I'll say it was fun. One thing I hate to do with movies is runtime nitpick, even though that's like, I mean, I feel like I'm always trying to squeeze movies into my schedule, which is why that's like something that I care about. And also because I knew I was going to a movie right after, but which was part of the squeezing. But like, this was like 2 hours and 15 minutes. 2 hours would have been good. 2 hours would have been perfect. 2 hours would have been serviceable. Oh, jeez, that was gross. I had an icy during the second movie. I saw Keeper, which I won't talk about right now. Where was I? Yeah, the movie was good. Yeah, Running Man was good.